is she that different from Catherine? Like generally, like before, like coup d'état, it's like she essentially just is Catherine. Like, isn't she? I guess like maybe a little bit more affable. Like she's kind of like a mix of Catherine and Lauren. I think she has like the. I think she's like Catherine position wise, but she's like Lauren, like perception wise. Where like everyone just kind of thinks she's an idiot, but like still like likable. Like people like her, but she's like people don't take her seriously. Um, did I not do that? I thought I did. Yeah, Michelle was the target over Jordan at Final Five. Yeah. But again, it's because Jordan just wasn't looked at as a threat because she genuinely wasn't. Like when you're like comparing her to Jeff and Michelle, Jeff and Michelle are more likely to beat you in competitions. Um, like it's not because like Jordan like actively managed her like threat level. It's like no, that's just the reality. Um, did Natalie play a better game than Jordan? Natalie played like shit too. Um, like Natalie is essentially Vince, right? Like actually, generally she's worse than Vince, but like she's that style of player though, where it's like yeah, there were points where she had like some influence and like had like some important relationships, but she also like proceeded to like burn them all. um, and like would just like constantly lie for like no reason. Yeah, Jeff was the initial target week 2. And then yeah, he won the veto. Natalie and Vince are masters at burning jury votes. I guess so. Yeah, Claudia, I think, is also there, yeah. Cool, I definitely know what that is. What are I generally don't even know what these are. I kind of forgot Josh Nash existed. 11 final 2. Wait, the worst final 2 from gameplay. Um, maybe certainly up there. Let me think of what I mean. Like Dick and Danielle is like it's just like a tough one to really gauge. Um, Rachel and Portia's also not great. I think those are probably the worst ones on PBUS at least. Like Kelsey Pax Bros is pretty bad. Cool, I definitely know what trophies I'm getting right now. Andy Douglas sucked at jury management. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's not like the worst of all time or anything at jury management. So what do those tickets do? Sarah worse than Jordan? I would say so personally, yeah. Like Sarah's is like so much more based around like her positioning in the game is so much more based around Twist benefiting her. Yeah, we'll do that. Did Nicole burn Bridget? I don't think Nicole burned Bridget. Or it's not her jury vote. Michelle, though, I agree, but like also Michelle just kind of hated her from the beginning anyway. uh, Looking back, the 18 jury votes kind of crazy. How much jury votes Paul lost? I mean, yeah, like I guess when looking at the jury votes, like it's Devon is obviously a big one where he had a much better relationship with Devon than Nicole did. Then even like Zakiya, like Zakiya was someone that initially at least was closer to Paul. I don't even remember by the time she went home where the relationship stood. But I know like early game she was like close to Paul. And she also had like what was the 5% alliance with all the women with Nicole? And she was obviously in the 8-pack and all that sort of stuff. And then like obviously Polly was working pretty close to Paul. Then also like obviously there's the connection to Nicole through Cody. And then what? Corey obviously was always voting Nicole. It is kind of insane that like Nicole beats Paul in a 5-3 vote, and one of the votes that she doesn't get is her future husband's. Like that is kind of insane, right? Yeah, that's the thing with Natalie. Natalie, I think, was always like pro women and that sort of thing. But yeah, Paul didn't like kind of burned her on her way out anyway. I mean, Nicole was not particularly well liked. It's not that shocking. Nicole like only won in a 5-4. Or I have Nicole as like a top like whatever 5 player of all time. But it's not because like any of her individual games are like particularly great. Like it's more so just like an overall like career sort of thing. But like realistically, it's like her PB18 game is very flawed still. And I think her overall like jury management across her entire career is pretty bad. Like she's never been the greatest in terms of like securing jury votes. Should Victor set home James or Natalie? For Victor, probably James, right? Well, really for both of them, right? Like, I think it's like realistically, like, the shot probably should have been... it's how do you get out of that position? It's like really it was like so like that final 6 was a weird one where like whoever won HOH was at the disadvantage, and that's why like Corey and Nicole threw that HOH because they knew that. But yeah, I think it's actually like once Victor does become HOH, what is the correct move? Because I do think it's tough. Like it's tough to like. Because, like, either way, you have to take a shot at a duo while also maintain the loyalty of the person in the duo that you're keeping. Which is, like, a very difficult thing to do. So it's like, I don't know what the right call would have been. But James over Natalie, though, is, like, I think it would have been better for him if James went over Natalie, for sure. But then again, I think it's, like, it's tough because, like, Natalie was, like... Like, I do think there are words where, like, Natalie would have wanted to go team up Nicole by that point. So, I don't know. OTT flashbacks. Does Nicole lose 5-4 against Cody? I think it's more than 5-4, right? Like, against Cody, it's like she gets what? Christmas? Maybe Memphis? Is there anyone else? Like, I think almost everyone else votes Cody, right? Well, Ian votes Cody. Devon votes Cody. Then Kevin votes Cody. Ian is not voting Nicole. Like 0% chance Ian is voting Nicole. Like, he's openly talking about how great Cody is, like, faux show. Kevin is like one that I believe it wasn't it Kevin? No, it was Kevin and David were like, weren't they campaigning for Enzo? Wasn't that a thing? Not over Cody, but I mean like in general. But anyway, like Cody demolishes like Nicole. I don't think it's like close. Nicole Enzo, I do think it would have been Nicole. I don't think it's like a clear cut case, right? Like it's definitely close. Like then again, like I don't think Enzo would have like articulated his game in a way that would have made people want to vote for him anyway. So like I think it probably would have leaned Nicole. But like I think there were votes up for grabs there. That's like it's at least close. Like, I think the only... Like, I think Memphis and Christmas are probably locked for Nicole. Like, really every other vote I think is, like, probably up for grabs. Like, especially if Enzo's the one to cut Cody, which was never happening. Like, I do think, like, almost every other vote is kind of just, you know, possible for Enzo to get. Like, I don't know where Cody goes. Tyler at least was like closer to Enzo. I think if like Enzo had articulated his game, like Tyler would be willing to vote for him. Danny, I think would probably vote Nicole, right? But also I know she was like not happy with Nicole. In the jury, but probably does vote. I know she was also like annoyed at Enzo. Then yeah, like I believe David and Kevin, from what I remember, weren't they pro Enzo? I know David was pro Enzo at least. Chelsea vote for MJ if MJ cuts her? Supposedly. She says she does, at least. But also, it's Chelsea, so who the fuck knows? Chelsea's also saying she never had a crush on Cam, so I mean... I think that is kind of funny. That Rob Bentley was first boot. Like I do think that's like a fairly like that's still insane. Like that, no one would know that. Like no one would expect Rob Bentley to be the first boot of any Survivor season ever. Hot take, Nally Nograti was in a jury threat. Is that a hot take? I don't think many people have a take at all on that. I don't know. From what I understand, yeah, I don't believe she was the biggest jury threat. She definitely would have gotten votes, but I don't think she handily wins in any like scenario. I think it's like always close. I do think Chelsea takes MJ to the end. I don't think she would have taken Cam. But also, it doesn't really matter. But I do think by the time she was making the move, I do think she was more... Like, by the time of the finale night and everything, I think she was seeming to be more like, well, I might as well just go with MJ. Does Angela or Casey go home if not for the hacker comp? I believe it would have been Angela, right? Like, if it's Angela versus Casey on the block, it would have been Angela. Like by that point, it's like level or Falte side of things hated Angela. Also at that point, Angela seemed to be the bigger comp threat, where like Casey wasn't winning things yet. Also, like you had the Tyler Angela connection that was more like out there than the Tyler Casey connection. So yeah, I think 100% Angela goes out. Like Tyler still gets the end. I mean, like it's still fairly likely him and Casey still pop out. Or it's like him and Casey were still like two of the best comp competitors left in the game anyway. It obviously like helps him that Angela's there, but yeah, I think it's still possible that he would still get to the end even without Angela. I believe it was the Rachel eviction week, right? Where they started to get close. I don't remember when they started actually like cuddling and that sort of stuff, but I know they like started to like get closer during the Rachel eviction week. Okay, I really fucked this up. Because like before that, it was like Tyler was spending a lot more time with Caitlyn. He's like Caitlyn was like hogging up pretty much all of his time. But then once Caitlyn left, he was able to finally spend time with Angela. Will this be my game of the year? Obviously. Generally, I do think this is a fun game. Like I'm not hating myself playing this. Like, is there that much depth here? Not really, but like it's a fun, enjoyable game just to kind of have in the background. Cool. What made Caitlyn problematic? She said the N-word. Cool. Okay, dude, I just suck. What the fuck? Like, I'm just awful at this game. I don't remember the... Okay, that's the boost button. Devin over Caitlyn? I would probably agree with that. What happened to the ranking? Actually, I don't know. It's like Devin... I think if Devin played again, I would actually have more faith in Devin than Caitlyn. I guess probably the way I see it. Like, I don't know if, like, by their games that they played, I'm not sure where I stand on that, but, like, in terms of, like, potential on a future season, cool. Yeah, like, I definitely see Devin as the one with more potential. Played Little Nightmare and I don't know. Little Nightmare, I saw the reviews were not great, right? For Little Nightmare 3. But I believe a lot of that, like, I believe the criticism was that there's no, there's no couch co-op, or there's no, there's something like wrong with the co-op, and then also the game is just like derivative of the previous games, from what I understand. So, I don't know. Reanimal, though, I'm definitely, like, more interested in. Because that's, like, the original developers, right? Making that one. I don't know if I'm going to play it right away, but eventually. Oh, does it come out next year? I thought it was soon. Like, I generally don't know. Like, I wasn't, like, paying attention to it. But, like, I just assumed it was coming out soon. Are there only 2 Caitlyns? Because that is insane if that is the case. That, yeah, it's like both Caitlyns ended up saying the N-word at some point. I guess, yeah, don't cast Caitlyn's. Actually, I'm trying to, like, is there Caitlyn on... Has there not been a Caitlyn on Survivor? Am I forgetting? I don't think there is, right? Yeah, there isn't. That's insane, actually, now I think about it. Yeah, Weekend 7's Caitlyn. Not Caitlyn. Yeah, I think, like, long term, I think more people remember the Gina Marie Aaron stuff because they were, like, the bigger figures, and they also made it deeper also. But yeah, like, obviously, Caitlyn was very problematic. And Amanda became, like, I think Amanda, like, at the time, definitely got a lot of flack. But I think it's just, like, as time goes on, people just remember the Aaron Gina Marie more. We're like, I don't think Caitlyn ever got that much flack, is the thing. Or, like, from what I remember at the time, like, the perception of Caitlyn was that, oh, she's the nice one of the three. Like, she's the better one of the three. Well, I remember just, like, so many people during her boot week were rooting for Aaron or Gina Marie to go, and not Caitlyn. Yeah, JC takes Tyler. I mean, JC's entire game is, like, him playing the game for Tyler, essentially. Dude, fuck off. Okay, dude, fuck off? What the fuck? Ugh. I mean, she does have an iconic final speech, so, I mean, it does something for her, at least. Elton Traders, guys. Random? What? Should be fun. For the people I know, at least. Never expected Henry to be there. Everyone else, there was, like, a shot. Like, this is a Network 10 show, right? Like, this version. So it's like, I guess it makes sense that AJ is on. Because, like, I said this before. It's like, to me, it'd be weird if it was a different network and AJ was on. But I still find it weird that they chose him for Traders over Survivor. When, like, because I think I would have rather had AJ on Survivor Redemption than Mark Warnock. So I feel like it does feel weird that, like, Mark Warnock is on Survivor again and AJ's on the Traders. But, yeah, Shane Gould, interesting pick. Like, I'm worried that Shane Gould's gonna be, like, a trader, and then they're just gonna, like, instantly know it's her. It's, like, seems to happen a lot with, like, the older women. Like, the unassuming, like, women on these trader seasons. Is that they decide to make them the trader because they're like, oh, no one's gonna think it's the old woman. And then it's like, everyone finds it out by, like, episode 2. Haley votes JC, at least like, coming into that situation, she was voting JC. Who knows if, like, Tyler's speech convinces her. Oh, I didn't realize getting first gets you 3. Oh. Okay, so I definitely should be... Yeah, I should definitely be trying to get first, obviously. She would be like the Nigel. Like, be like Nigel's a trader. Maybe? Yeah, actually, I can kind of see that, yeah. Why people who watch shows like Dexter and Breaking Bad hate the white because they're sexist? Brett vote and JC? He votes Tyler, I believe. Actually, no, he votes JC, I believe. And JC Tyler. At least he came into, I think, voting JC. I mean, Vince is better player than Santina. But yeah, it's not saying much. Tyler gets Bailey. Angela, Casey, possibly Haley. Yeah, that's probably his best case scenario. Like, he's never getting a rock star. He's never getting Fessy. He's never getting probably Scotty because it's Scotty. Never getting Sam. So like he would need to like flip Haley and then get Brett to win. And he was always getting Bailey against JC. And obviously he was always getting Angela and Casey. I mean, I think Tyler beats Brett. Like, I think fairly easily. Like, that's the issue with Tyler. Like, the thing about Tyler that's, like, so annoying is that he's not even, like, a GOAT at the end. Where, like, it's not like a Paul situation where, like, Paul loses to almost everybody because, theoretically, there are technically words where he wins because of how the jury... But either way, like, there was this, like, very like, Paul sentiment in the jury. There wasn't even an anti-Tyler sentiment. He just picked the wrong people. Like, he just decided to, for some reason, go to the end with the people that he can't win against. Wait, what? What was this? Oh, this is just a... Okay. Yeah, Tyler beats Sam, Brett, and Angela. Loses to Casey and JC. Once you get to like Haley and them, it's like a bit tough to really say. He probably would beat Scotty, I would assume, if he got to the end Scotty. Prom was taking out Sam at 5 over JC. Yeah, that was a big issue. I think it's taking out Sam over, like, really, I think, yeah, like, also the issue is, like, planning on going to have Casey over Angela. It's also an issue. And also, like, I think an issue is, like, him mismanaging Sam. Because, like, technically at the point that he made that move, it was probably the correct call because I think Sam was more likely to target him than JC ever was, where JC was going to take him to the end no matter what. But, like, obviously that's because he, like, essentially just dropped the ball on Sam. Or it's like people just have like the wrong, like, or at least the general like online community seems to have like the wrong like read on like why Tyler lost the game. Where it's not because really it's like the fundamental issues is the fact that he essentially like, because like the talk is like how obviously like he would have won if he didn't have so many final twos, but it's like it's actually the opposite issue. It's like he loses the game because he didn't manage his final twos properly, or like he didn't manage like specific ones properly and like didn't go with the right ones. But like the people that he had final twos with, most of them did vote for him at the end. Like it's not like a point where like they weren't gonna vote for him. A lot of them, like Brett was someone that he burned, had a final two with, he voted for him. JC was someone that he was going to burn, had a final two with, voted for him. Angela is someone that technically burns, and she ends up voting for him. Cool. Okay. I think like Tyler just like seems to just get tired. Like I think he just like was kind of, he really spent a lot of like I think like post like what like Rockstar Boot Week, I think he really just like kind of like stopped managing his position in the game. Where he did a lot of good like setup to his game, and like obviously like positioned himself very well within like level 5 and like got his group to the end. But then once he got his group to the end, he kind of just like was like, okay, I'll just let it play out. The thing is, do they want Horacio? I don't think they want Horacio anymore. Is JCB KC near unanimous? I mean, what do you consider? It's like the same as Tyler, pretty much. Like, it's like Bailey votes Casey, Tyler votes Casey, Angela votes Casey. Everyone else probably votes JC.